Welcome to Mental Barf. Today we'll be looking at the etymologies of 12 words that I find very interesting. If you don't know, etymology is the study of language and words and how they develop, not to be confused with entomology, which is the study of insects. It's two very different things. So, first up, we have hazard. Hazard comes from the Arabic al-zar, which actually means dice. Now, the reason we have the word hazard today is because the Crusaders went to Arabia and the dice were associated with gambling. And since they were Crusaders, that just developed a negative connotation in, like, European languages. Disaster. Disaster literally translates to bad star, and this is because the Greeks had this belief that destiny could be determined by the stars, you know? And so anything that bad that happened, they just blamed it on, you know, a disaster, a bad star. Way to go at consigning blame to somebody else, Greeks. Nice means ignorant in Latin. Muscle translates to tiny mouse. So I guess there was some Roman people and they just thought for some reason that their muscles looked like little mice crawling under their skin, which is kind of weird and creepy. Lunatic. Luna means moon, and so how did we get lunatic from the moon? Well, people had this belief a long time ago that people went insane because the moon had different phases. Addict. Addict literally translates to slave, and now we get to the public service announcement portion of the video, because just saying, if you're addicted to alcohol, or if you're addicted to hard drugs, or whatever you're addicted to, that literally means that you're a slave to it. Noon. Noon comes from the Latin words nona hora, which means the 9th hour, which doesn't make any sense by itself. But then you have to consider that the Roman noon was about 3 in the afternoon. Good job, Roman timekeepers, once again. Clue. Clue comes from the Greek word ball of thread. Now that makes no sense at all, but the Greeks had this legend about using a ball of thread to find your way out of a maze, so thus it was a clue. Daisy. Daisy translates or breaks down to day's eye. So daisy literally means the day's eye because daisies only open during the day and the night they close. Dunce. Now sadly this word actually comes from a person. His name was John Duns Scotus, and he was a Middle Ages theologian. And his followers were actually called Duns. His ideas were eventually discredited during the Renaissance and Enlightenment, and so thus the word dunce arose to describe anybody who still supported outdated ideas, and eventually just descended into anybody who's stupid. Inspire. Inspire, that's actually really easy to break down. You take in and spire. In means what you think it means. Spire means breathe. So inspire means breathe in. So I'm being inspired. Or I'm inspiring myself. Or, like, if you're inspired by a muse, then they're basically, you know, doing CPR on you or kissing you, take your pick. Galactic comes from galactic, milk. And why do we call the galaxy milk? Well, obviously because our galaxy, named by the ancient Greeks or Romans, I'm not exactly sure which, is called the Milky Way because they thought it looked like somebody had spilled a bunch of milk across the cosmos. Thank you for watching my list of all my 12 favorite etymologies. If you have any favorite etymologies or word parts, please leave them in the comments below. Consider liking and subscribing. Adieu. Or let the shadows fall behind you. I'm still trying to come up with a send-off. Send-off, that's not right. Goodbye.